Check the screen. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in previous class, we have calculated the reinforcement for the footing, and for the rectangular footing, the length was divided into three parts: central band and two edge strips. Okay, for that we have calculated the reinforcement, right? So today we are going to check for shear. So we'll do the check for shear. It's the step number 3 or 4. First step number.
Step 3, sir.
3, sir.
Step 3. Okay. So write down check for shear. Check for shear. First we'll do for a one-way shear. Then two-way shear. Okay. Check for shear. Let us take first one. One-way shear. So where is the critical section for one-way shear? This is the footing column. Can anyone tell where will be the one-way shear? Where is critical? Let us call this as a huh? It's a lot of disturbance, Shabaz. See, it is at a distance of what? One-way shear. Okay, we have to take in both the direction. So for the moment, we have taken 1, 1 and 2, 2. So here you name it for 3, 3 and 4, 4 for one-way shear. It will be critical at a distance of D from the face of the column. And this is the length and this is the width. We'll calculate for both the direction. So here you write critical section for one-way shear is at a distance of D from the face of the column. It is at a distance of D from the face of the column. Here it is drawn as shown in the figure. Okay. Then I hope this diagram is visible to you all. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Along the width you take 3, 3, and along the length you take it is a 4, 4 that I am mentioning here. For a moment we have taken 1, 1 and 2, 2, and for the shear you take 3, 3 and 4, 4. Okay, the section here it is at a distance of D from the face of the column. So this is the face of the column. This is the column. So from the face of the column it is at a distance of D. So one-way shear will be critical at a distance of D from the face of the column. Then calculate force at 3. So can anyone tell what is the shear force at 3? 3 formula. It's a P naught into B into bracket L minus L by 2 minus D. And this dimensions for the column is L and B. Okay. So when you take a shear force about a 3, 3, about this one, it's about 3, 3. So you will get this formula. I hope you understood this one. This already we have taken in a previous problem. Right? Then tell me the answer here. What is a P naught? 96.05 into 1.9 into bracket 3.2 minus what is this dimensions of column? It's a 0.5 divided by 2 minus depth of the footing is 0.64. So what is the answer you get here? Tell me fast. Shabaz. Lot of disturbance.
399.37.
399.37 kilonewton. Correct. This is shear force at section 3.3. For this one, you calculate the nominal shear stress. Okay, that is I'll take a tau V3 because for the section 3 I'm calculating the tau V. So it will be VU3 divided by BD. So VU3. So 399.37 into 3 divided by B. What is the B width? It's a 1.9 into what is the depth? 640. What is the answer you get here?
For 0.32.
0.3284. 3284.
Okay, I'll take it as 0.33 Newton per millimeter square. Newton per millimeter square it is. Newton per millimeter square. Then percentage of steel you calculate. Percentage of steel. Percentage of steel, that is PT, which will be 100 AS divided by B into D. Then for this one 100 into what is the actual AST provided? How much it was? Check the previous step. How much it was provided? Actual AST. Yes, tell me.
2387.
2387.61. Correct? 1900 into 640. So what is the percentage you are getting here? 0.2. Check this one. Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then next step. So for this percentage of steel, what is the value of tau C? You need to calculate. Then you have to compare the tau C value with tau V value. Okay, this value. So I hope it's over. All have taken this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then I'll calculate the table number 19 of IS 456. Table 19 of IS 2000. Note down this. Okay. So from the table, the value of tau V. So here, just a minute. Okay. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now from this table, that is a page number 73. Okay. So from this table, this value we have obtained. This value, this one. So in our case, how much this value? 0.2%. Okay. But here there is no 0.2%. It is in between 0.15 and 0.25. You have to interpolate it. So what is the grade of concrete we are using for the footing? M20. Okay. Then the value is lying between 0.15 and 0.25. So, okay, now take what is the value for 0.15? That is a tau C value. It's a 0.28, right? Okay. Then what is the value of 0.25? Value for 0.36. Then, okay, so we have taken this one right now. Here, okay, now. So I hope it's visible to you all, right? So what is the value lying between this one? We want calculate this one, interpolate and tell me the answer. What is the tau C value we get? Tau C will be this one, 0.28 plus 0.36 minus 0.28, this minus this, then 0.25 minus 0.15, this minus this, into 0.2 minus 0.15. Here
0.31.
Point.
Sir, 0.31.
31.
Correct. 0.31. 0.31 is correct. All of you got same answer.
Sir, I got 0.32.
So
Okay.
0.32, sir.
Okay, 0.32 Newton per millimeter square. Now what I'll write here? So this tau V, what we have calculated, that is tau V3 is almost equal to tau C. Correct? Almost near, right? So should be less than tau c, but it's almost near, hence we can write hence safe. Suppose if you are getting tau c value more, suppose if you get here 0.5, it will become more than tau v value. So what is the here? What statement you can make here? Hello. This shear, what we are checking, this shear, that is the tau v value and tau c value, depends upon what? I hope my voice is audible to you all. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Are you understanding my question?
Sir, 1 second, please. Why is it breaking here?
Suppose this tau c value, if you are getting more than tau v value,
Yes, sir.
then what is the statement you can make here?
It's not safe, sir.
Correct, but not safe, correct. Then to make it safe,
Sir, we have to do that so Ks into tau c. Yes.
no. Anybody? It depends upon what this shear. Anyone?
Sir, depth. We have to change the depth, sir. D.
Yes. You have to change the depth. You have to increase the depth. That is the statement you can make, because that shear where it is depending upon the depth of the footing you have provided. That's why we have increased that beginning only. So whatever the depth we had, so that depth we have increased almost double, right? Yes or no? For the shear criteria. But it is not means you are not getting a safe. Then further you can increase the depth and continue. Okay. So I'll write here note. For your information, I'll write a note. If unsafe, so the depth is to be increased. Depth is to be increased. Depth is to be increased, and proceed further with the same. Further with the same. Understood? Suppose if you are getting tau v more than, tau v is more than tau c. Means this one. Tau v should be less than tau c. And suppose if it is getting unsafe here, then you have to make a statement that depth is to be increased and proceed further with the same. Understood? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, calculate. So for section means that for this section we have calculated the tau v for the section 3. Similarly, calculate for the 4/4. Section 4/4 means along the length VU4. So tell me the formula fast. Tell me fast.
P naught into B.
Huh?
P naught into B.
P naught into
D, sir.
P naught into L, sir, minus D.
yes, correct. Calculate VU4. What is the answer you get here? And tell me.
151.57, sir.
Yes, kilonewton. Correct. Then similarly calculate tau v4, that is VU4 divided by B into D, that is 151.57 into 10⁻³ divided by but here this B into D what I have taken here, but instead of taking a B into D you have to take it as a L. You're getting my point? Because this is along the length. Understood? Hello? You don't take that B width here because you take the L, means this one. Because we are calculating here. So previous case we have taken this one, now this one, L. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now here 3200 into 640. What is the answer you are getting here?
0.074, sir.
0.074 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. Now this is the tau v4 value you are getting, tau v, but we'll check here. So see, this tau v, when you are comparing with the minimum value of tau c, what is the minimum value of tau c here? How much is the minimum? How much is the minimum?
0.28, sir.
Yes, that is the minimum. Okay. And it's we are getting a lesser than the minimum only. I hope you understand. Directly you can write here safe, because which is lesser than minimum, 0.28 Newton per millimeter square, hence safe. So no need to calculate again percentage of steel, and you will get a minimum that is lesser than only, less only. Already tau v is 0.074, and which is the lesser than minimum value, hence safe. Understood? Or else you calculate once again the percentage of steel and do interpolation and just check it. So not required, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You write it, hence safe. Okay, next. Let us check for the two-way shear. Do it first. Two-way shear. Check for two-way shear. Check for two-way shear. Again, this is the footing, column, rectangular column. Can anyone tell where will be the critical two-way shear? Where it will be critical?
So at a distance of d by 2.
At a distance of d by 2 from the face
From
of
the
the
face
column.
of the column.
From the face of the column. So all of you note it down. So let us take this length of the column, along the length small l, and width small b, and let us take this capital L, and this one is capital B. And for two-way shear, it is critical at a distance of d by 2 from the face of the column. Okay. And here, just to name the critical section, I'm taking it as A, and this edge B and C and D. And also take this critical section length as a L1. I'm writing as a L1, and take this width as a B1, critical section. I hope it's visible to you all. Whatever the markings I have done, please mark it clearly. So this center portion is a column 1. This is a column. Okay. So this is a column, and its dimensions are L into B. Along the length is L, small l, and width small b. And from the face of the column, from here, this is the column face. From the face of the column, it is at a distance of d from both the directions, along the length as well as along the width. From the both side, it is at a distance of d by 2 is critical. So when you take at a distance of d by 2 from both the side, then you will get one rectangle, that is A, B, C, D, and this rectangular portion is most critical. Okay, that is the punching area. You can call it as a punching area. So this column is making a punch in that much of area, hence it is called as a punching shear. I hope you understood. Is it clear? Two-way shear is also called as a punching shear. Punching. Okay, punching shear. Now we have to check whether the provided depth is sufficient to resist the punching shear or not. Already we have provided the depth of the foot. So we need to check the depth is sufficient for resisting the punching shear or not. Okay. Here you make one statement. The critical section for the two-way shear or punching shear occurs at a distance of d by 2 from the face of the column, where small l and b are the sides of column. Okay, now Hence, punching shear area, you need to take the punching shear area. Hence, punching shear area. Anyone tells the punching shear area? Area will be what? L1 into B1, correct? Yes or no? Punching shear area. So now can anyone tell what is L1? Fast. Say L1 into B1, punching shear area. Fast, L1. Look at the diagram and tell me fast. L1 equal to what?
Sir, L plus D by 2 plus D by 2. Mean L plus D.
Yes, L plus D. Correct. Correct. Then similarly, what is B1?
B plus D.
B plus D. Correct. B plus D. Okay. Now with this, tell me the value of L1. Here substitute L1. As you know the small l. What is the value of small l? L1 will be, what is the value? 500. 500 plus 640, correct? It's a 940. How much it is? Not 940.
1140.
1140. Similarly, B1, 300 plus 640. It's a 940.
940.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now calculate area and tell me fast. Just you tell me in meter square. It's a 1.14 into 0.94. So it will be how much it is? Is it 1.0716?
Yes, sir. 1.0716.
Yes. So all of you note it down this. Fast note it down this area. So now calculate perimeter for that critical section. Perimeter. So now I'll call it the perimeter of critical section. Perimeter of critical section. Let us name for perimeter B0. So how we calculate perimeter? Yes, fast tell me. Perimeter. How you calculate perimeter?
Addition of all the four sides.
All the four sides. Okay. It's a 2L1 plus 2B1.
2L plus 2B.
L1 plus B1. Call it as B1 and L1. Because small l and small b were taken for the column, right? It's a L1 and B1, right? This side L1, B1, L1, B1. It's a 2L1 plus 2B1. Understood all of you?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer here? Fast.
4.16.
Yes, 4.16. 4.16 meter or 4 millimeter. Keep here. Is it over? Then is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next. Calculate punching shear force. Now punching shear force. That is VU equal to. We need to calculate VU. So the formula is factored load. How much load is coming? You have to deduct minus is factored upward pressure multiply by what?
For punching area.
Punching area. Punching area. Right, this formula. Factored load minus the factored pressure multiplied by area. How much is the factored load? It is a 1.5 into 1200 minus what is the pressure? How much it is? Actual pressure. Just check out. Factored upward pressure.
296.0.
296.05. Okay. Into what is the punching area? It's a 0.716. So what is the answer you get here? Fast.
1482.75.
Yes. Correct. So this much is a force actually acting for the punching shear force. This much is coming. For this force, we need to check the nominal shear stress. Now, nominal shear stress. Nominal shear stress. Tau V. So tau v equal to what? What is the formula? VU divided by B into. Okay. Then. So VU divided by B into D, but we need to take perimeter B naught. Understanding? Because it is acting along the periphery. This one. This one. Okay. So what is the VU here? 1482.75 into 10 raised to 3. So what is a much is it? It's a 4160, correct? Into what is the depth? 640. What is the tau v value?
0.56.
0.55.
56.
56, huh?
Yes, sir. 0.56.
55, sir. 5569.
Correct. 0.55. Then this is the actually tau v value acting. There is a stress. Now permissible shear stress. Permissible shear stress. So you have to refer code page number 58, IS 456 2000. What is the permissible value? There we are getting tau c. Is it a Ks into Ks plus? Sorry, Ks into tau c. Correct? Huh? Yes or no? Understood this one? How it comes?
Yes, sir.
You want to check in a code, or shall I proceed?
Proceed,
Sir,
sir.
proceed, sir.
Right. So where you can write where Ks can be given, it's a 0.5 beta c. Okay, but beta c to be taken as shorter side of column to the longer side. You can write here shorter side to longer side of column. Shorter side to longer side of the column. So tell me the shorter side of the column. It's a 300, right? Divided by 500. What is the answer you are getting here? Beta? Is it a 0.6?
0.6.
Yes, right. Then calculate Ks. It's a 0.5 plus 0.6. But this should not be greater than 1 as per the code.
1.1.
So you are getting it is 1.1. Hence, provide it should be 1. If you are getting lesser than 1, then that value you take it. But you are getting more than 1, take 1. Is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, further, tau c value. Tau c equal to, it's a 0.25 root of FCK. 0.25 root of, what is the FCK value? What is the grade of concrete we are using?
20, sir.
20. What is the answer here? Is it 1.1?
1.11.
Yes.
1.118. Correct.
Okay, 1, 2. Then calculate tau c dash. Substitute above. That is Ks is 1. It's 1.12. The answer will be 1.12 Newton per millimeter square. Finally, we have obtained. Then compare this with the tau v value. So what is the tau v we have obtained? How much it is?
0.55.
0.55, sir.
Compare. Just, shall I write tau v is less than tau c dash?
Yes, sir.
Now it's safe. Hence, you can write here. Hence, safe in punching shear. Otherwise, if you are getting a tau v is more than tau c, what is your again? If you are getting a tau
No,
v,
sir. Then you have to again go and change the depth, sir.
yes, that is okay. But in exam, it's not possible. Again, once again, you have to go and change the depth. Again, you have to proceed. No, just to make a statement, increase the depth. That okay, increase the depth and further you proceed it. Next, again, don't go back and change the depth again. Continue. No, just to make one statement, increase the depth. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the next step? So punching shear is over. Next is step 5. Check for development length. Means anchorage. Bonding length. Check for development length. So here I'll write the formula. First tell me any formula. 0.87 Fy divided by 4 into tau EBD. Okay. So here I'll draw, you also draw it. This is the footing and this is column. I'll mark here. So at this section means what I am drawing here, this I think this we have called as a 1-1, right? And this we have called as a 2-2 bending moment. Along the length we have called as a 2-2 and along the width we have called as a 1-1. So from that section is a means this is a critical section. From that section we know how much is length required, that is development length is required. Now I'll calculate along length first. Along length first I'll calculate development length. LD will be 0.87 into Fy 415. So along the length, the main reinforcement we have provided here. So can anyone tell what is that main reinforcement we have provided? Diameter already provided, diameter along the length. Is it 20 mm, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then divided by 4 into BD. So tau BD value again, that is a 1.6 into 1.2. Have you remembered this one? For M20 it's a 1.2. So I have to increase it by 60%. I hope you understood.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
You want me to in a
So
code?
explain, sir.
Okay. Just can anyone tell what is the page number, that one? Here. Look at here. Not this one.
Sir, page 42.
40?
So
42. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. 42. Here it is. So look here. I hope it's visible to you all. Design bond stress in a limit state method for the plain bars. Okay. So here, what is the grade of concrete we are using?
M20.
M20. So what is the design bond stress? That is tau BD 1.2, right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
So suppose if you are using M25, it's that is a bond stress will be 1.4, but in our case it is a M20. You have to take 1.2, but I have increased it by 60%. Why? As the code says, if you are using deformed bars conforming to this IS 1786, these values shall be increased by 60%. So whatever the value you are having here, you have to increase it 60% for the deformed bars, means the ribbed bars, HYSD bars. So that's why I have taken it to 1.6 times. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
This have increased 60%, this value. Okay. Any doubt here?
940.23.
Yes, 940.23 millimeter. Okay. Now, assume 50 mm side cover. Means whatever the bars you are providing here, like this, you are providing this side cover from the edge, leave 50 mm here. So mean from here, this side 25, sorry, this 50 mm you have to leave from this edge. So if you are leaving 50 mm, what is the available length? Available length, I'll write here. Available length. So since we are taking, means from here we are taking here. So this is L and this is B. If I want this length, can anyone tell what is this length? From the face already we have calculated. What is this length? First, this is L and this is B. What is this length? This length.
D by 2.
No, this one.
So L minus L by 2.
L minus L by 2.
L by 2.
L 2. Okay. So now available length means, because we are providing development length considering the critical section, from the critical section we are considering. Okay. Then development length, available length will be L minus L by 2 minus that cover, whatever the cover you are providing, 50 mm. So it is a, I think, how much it is? 3000 minus 500 divided by 2 minus 50, right? So what is available length? Tell me fast.
1300.
1300 means this much actually we are providing, but development length is how much we required? How much we required?
940.
Greater than 940, right?
Yes, sir.
Hence it is safe development length. Okay, this is along the length. Similarly, along the width, again, tell me fast. LD value, it's a 0.87 into 4156. But along the width, what is the diameter we have provided? Is it a 12 mm diameter we have provided, right? Just go back and check. Is in area of reinforcement what we have calculated. I hope we have taken 12 mm, right? Check that. Then 4 into, tell me, 1.6 into 1.2. Understood this one? Understood?
Yes, sir. 564.14.
564.14 millimeter. Then available length. Now tell me available length similarly, like previous case. But we are providing along width. Can anyone tell what is this length now? Which one? This one. I'll mark here. Just tell me. This one.
B minus B by 2.
B minus B by 2. Correct. That 50 mm cover. So leaving 50 mm cover, it will be available length B minus B by 2 minus cover. So what is the value of B? It's a 1900 minus 300 divided by 2 minus 50. What is the available length?
750.
750, right? So is it 750, right? How much it is? Correct, huh? 750 is right?
Yes, sir.
Is it greater than 564? Required. Hence safe. Suppose if you are getting lesser than the required, if suppose the case is reversed, if LD is required this much, you are getting a 450 something here. What is your answer here?
Not safe, sir.
Huh?
Sir, it is not safe.
Not safe, correct, but you have to make it safe.
Yes, sir. So by changing the cover.
No, don't change the cover. Just you make it, instead means we are providing the straight bars. Just you make it a hook here.
Bent up bars. Okay.
The length get increases and you will get the bonding, better bonding. I hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir. So this is over. Check for development length is over. What is the next step? Last step? Finish it up. This one.
Check for bearing stress.
Yes, bearing stress. Check for bearing stress. Last. Check for. This is important. Check for bearing stress. Check for bearing stress. So again, here, this is the column, footing. According to the code, the load get disperses from the column edge. It will be at a ratio of 2:1. Remember, 2:1 vertical like this. It is given in the code. So if you want, I'll show that one. Page number here it is. Transfer of load at the base of the column. You all can see this one. Right?
Yes, sir.
So according to this, I'll take here. Okay, you also note it down. So this already read. So here I'll write according to this one. So I'll write the load is assumed. You also note it down. The load is assumed to disperse from the base of the column to the base of the footing at the ratio of 2 horizontal to 1 vertical. Okay. So here, from here, stress, you will get a bearing stress. Okay. So here it is dispersing at the ratio of 2 horizontal to 1 vertical. Okay. Then, actually, here they are given one ratio, that is this one. So look, this one. This square root of, okay, this root of A1 by A2. A1 is a supporting area for the bearing of footing, and A2 is the loaded area of the column base. Okay, I'll take here where A1 is area of footing. So can anyone tell what is the area of footing? It's size 3.2 into 1.9. What is the answer here? Similarly, A2 is area of column base. So what is A1 here?
6.08.
6.08 square. Then the area of column base means it's a rectangular column. What is the size? It's a 0.5. So what is A2?
0.15.
0.15. 15, right. Then just check it out, the ratio square root of A1 by A2 according to the code. We'll check it. It's a 6.08 divided by 0.15. How much you are getting here?
6.36.
6.36. But yes, it is greater than 2. What the code says is it should not be greater than 2. See, here it is written. Can you see this one? I have highlighted here, but not greater than 2. Right? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
But in our case, we are getting it is a more than 2. Hence, restrict the value to 2 only. Hence, limit root of A1 by A2 equal to 2. Limit the value. Means you take it 2 only. Don't take 6.36. Is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So further, permissible bearing stress. Permissible bearing stress. So it is, the formula is 0.45 FCK square root of A1 by A2. Okay. Then 0.45 FCK is 20. And what is the value of square root of A1 by A2? Already taken?
2, sir.
Yes, 2. What is the answer? Is it 18?
18, sir.
Yes, this much is a permissible in our case. But actual bearing stress, how much is, okay, what to calculate? Actual bearing stress. It is to be factored load divided by area of column base. So factored load, it's 1.5 into 1200. So divided by, what is the area of column base? It's a it's a 500 into 300. So yes, calculate and tell me fast. It's a factored load divided by area of column base. That is actually bearing stress acting. How much it is?
12.
So it's a 12 Newton per millimeter square. Okay. So which is less than 18, hence safe. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if you're getting actual is more than the permissible, then you have to increase the size of the column. Understood? You have to make it wider to distribute the load. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. So means all the steps over here. Just your next step is you have to show the reinforcement details. So the final step, hence safe in bearing. This is the last step. The final step, the reinforcement details. Last, because IS 456, according to IS 456, you have to do it. Reinforcement details. Lastly, you have to draw this one. So column, you also draw it. Footing. Then I'll show it in a, okay. Then you divide this one into 3 bands. We have divided 3 bands, 3 parts. So you mark this one main, then in plan you show it 1 bar, and I call this one as this main bar, I call it as a Then this bar you call it as a C, and this one is a B, and again this is also C. So I'll write here this this bar, name it as C, and the middle, this middle bars you call it as a B, and again this main bar A, and again this one is C. Okay, then I'll write here. I hope all are drawing this one. Are you understanding this one? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is 700 depth. Then take this width as a 3200 width, length of the footing. Then what the A means, I'm writing here A means it's the diameter of 20 mm, diameter 20 at 250 mm center to center we have provided. B means it's a diameter of 12 mm at 200 mm center to center, and C means it's a diameter of 10 mm at 290 mm center. Hope this only you are provided. You just check in the step, that is the area of reinforcement what we have calculated for the all three strips, middle strip and edge strip. Okay, so this is the end of the design. I hope you understood this one, all of you.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Right. So with this design of iso without eccentricity, we have completed. One we have taken as a square footing, and another one we have taken a rectangular footing. So in next class with eccentricity, means suppose if the moment is present. So this is a column. So along with the load, if moment is also present, how to design? So that is there in your syllabus. So that we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. So with this, we'll wind up the today's session. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, you give your attention and leave the meeting. Don't miss the class.